got a big long dick, so I ain't tripping on what you did with him. He not
but
fucking, he can't fuck you like I'm fucking you. He not fucking you like I'm fucking you, so you can go fuck him all day. You know what you gonna come back to? That day. I ain't trying to hear that shit.
He's a monster. That's what he is, a monster.
Tonight, a family is coming to grips with the fact that a young mother is gone. I'm Erica Bryant.
I'm Evan Donovan, in tonight for Scott Wickersham. New at 5, what happened in the days before that missing woman's body was discovered behind a West Charlotte church?
December 11th, 2025, Charlotte, North Carolina. Police make a discovery that would send shockwaves through the community. Behind an abandoned church on Sanders Avenue, officers found a gray-blue 2004 Honda Accord. Inside the front passenger seat, 31-year-old Fresja Matisse Baker. Unresponsive. She was pronounced dead at the scene at 9:35 in the morning. But here's what makes this story even more tragic. Fresja had been missing for 7 days. 7 days where her family searched desperately. 7 days where they asked the same question over and over. Where is she? And now they had their answer. But it wasn't the one they prayed for.
The search continues for Fresja Baker, who's been missing since Thursday. I'm here with friends and family who continue to search for her and are also passing out flyers. Just what are some of the things you want people to know right now?
I want everyone to know today at 5:30 here at 1121 Bettisford Road, we will be handing out flyers. Anybody welcome to come and get them. We need them everywhere. We need all hands on deck. We need all boots on the ground. We need everyone help to find her. So please come get some flyers so you can post it on whatever side of town that you stay on. Please help. Your job, anywhere. Facebook, everywhere.
Let me take you back to where this all started. December 4th, 2025. It was a Thursday. For Fresja Baker, it seemed like an ordinary day. She had a 2-year-old son, a little boy who meant everything to her. That afternoon, she took him to a dentist appointment. Afterward, she dropped him off with his grandparents. Just a routine drop-off. The kind of thing parents do every day. Around 10 p.m. that night, Fresja called her brother. She told him she was on her way home. Said she was about an hour away. Her brother waited and waited, but Fresja never showed up. By December 5th, her phone was going straight to voicemail. No texts, no calls, nothing. Her family knew something was wrong. This wasn't like Fresja. She was a mother, a responsible mother. She didn't just disappear. She didn't go days without checking on her son. On December 6th, her family officially reported her missing to Charlotte-Mecklenburg police. Officers began searching for that gray-blue Honda Accord with temporary South Carolina plates. But there were no leads, no sightings. It was like Fresja and her car had vanished. Her mother, who asked to remain anonymous, spoke to local news. Her voice breaking. She said, "I just want my baby home. I just want her home in good health. That's all." But as the days passed, December 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, hope started to fade. Then came December 11th. Officers received information about a vehicle behind a church in the Washington Heights area. Sanders Avenue, right off Beatty's Ford Road and Brookshire Freeway. It's not a busy area. The church had been abandoned. And there, hidden from plain sight, was Fresja's Honda. What police found inside changed everything. Fresja was in the front passenger seat. She had head trauma, and she'd been shot in the head. She was wearing the same clothes she had on the last night anyone saw her alive. This was now a homicide investigation, and investigators already had a suspect in mind. His name was Lorenzo Thomas Inman Jr. He was 38 years old, and he was Fresja's boyfriend. But here's where the story gets even darker. Lorenzo Inman wasn't just some guy with a clean record. No, this man had a history. A violent history that should have kept him behind bars. Let me tell you about Lorenzo Inman. In April 2017, Inman followed a man named Sharif Pope to a Charlotte shopping center. He shot Pope in the chest. Then, and this is important, Inman stood over him and fired several more rounds. He was trying to kill this man. In February 2019, A jury convicted Inman of attempted first-degree murder, assault with deadly weapon with intent to kill inflicting serious injury, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. The judge sentenced him to 13 to 17 years in prison. 13 to 17 years. But Inman didn't serve that time. In December 2020, an appeals court overturned his conviction. Why? Because of errors in allowing certain evidence during the trial. So in March 2021, Inman took a plea deal. He pleaded guilty to assault and gun possession charges. Prosecutors dropped the attempted robbery and firearm discharge charges. And just like that, Inman was released from prison. He'd served only 2 years. 2 years for attempted murder. Now here's where it gets worse. Just 4 months after his release, July 2021, Inman was arrested again, this time for assault on a female. He'd punch a woman in the face. But the victim later said it was a misunderstanding, and the charges were dropped. In October 2021, Inman took Alford pleas to charges of habitual misdemeanor assault and intimidating a witness. He was sentenced to 24 months of supervised probation. The judge warned him, complete the probation or go to jail. But Inman kept getting chance after chance. In October 2025, just 2 months before Fresja's murder, Inman pleaded guilty to habitual misdemeanor assault and intimidating a witness again. A judge suspended an 11 to 23-month prison sentence, giving him 24 months of supervised probation instead. He was supposed to attend a domestic violence intervention program. Instead, on December 4th, 2025, Fresja Baker disappeared. Now, let's talk about what investigators found. They pulled surveillance footage from a mobile gas station on LaSalle Street. It was from the night of December 4th, the last night anyone saw Fresja alive. The video showed Fresja and Inman together, but it also showed something disturbing. Inman was assaulting her, right there in the gas station. He put his hand on the back of her head and neck. He pushed her. He shoved her. He threw an object that struck her. Then the two of them left together in Fresja's car. That was the last time anyone saw Fresja Baker alive. On December 9th, investigators got a Crime Stoppers tip. The tip said that Inman, who went by the street name Nuna, had told someone that Fresja was already dead. The tipster said Inman claimed she'd been shot in the head. Then came more evidence. Inman's probation officer received a call, and what the probation officer heard was chilling. According to court documents, Inman told the probation officer, "Y'all looking for Fresja Baker, and that girl is dead. Don't know where her body is at, but her car is parked somewhere near my house." Inman went on to say that they got into an argument. The gun went off, and she was shot in the head. A witness later came forward and told detectives the same thing. The witness said Inman admitted to killing Fresja. And here's the key detail. The witness described the crime scene in a way that only someone with first-hand knowledge would know. On December 11th, police found Fresja's body. And the next day, December 12th, they arrested Lorenza Inman in Maxton, North Carolina. That's about 100 miles southeast of Charlotte, near Fayetteville. Inman was charged with murder, assault on a female, and misdemeanor domestic violence. But here's the question that Fresja's family and the entire Charlotte community is asking. How was this man free? How was someone with a history of attempted murder, multiple assaults, and witness intimidation allowed to walk the streets? How was he given probation instead of prison time? And how many chances does one violent offender get before someone says, "Enough"? Before we continue, I want to hear from you. Do you think the justice system failed Fresja Baker? And where are you watching from? Drop your state or country in the comments below.
I'm just praying for the family. Like, I've been crying all day. I'm tired. Like, I'm just over how people treat people.
Wesley Winchester says he got a call early this morning saying a body found in this car behind an abandoned church in West Charlotte may be that of his friend, 31-year-old Fresja Baker. Police have not confirmed that, but from Chopper 9 Sky Zoom, we could see that the license plate on the car was the same as that reportedly on Baker's missing 2004 Honda Accord.
They were like they think they found the location of where she was at.
Baker, the mother of a toddler, was spotted on surveillance video several times last Thursday, driving from her home, then reportedly visiting a cookout on Sugar Creek Road and later Quick and Easy Food Mart on LaSalle Street just before 10 p.m. Thursday night.
At the end of the day, there's a lot of people that care about her, and we went hard as we can to find her.
We got a call that they arrested a suspect. We are aware of that. I just want to thank the media,
Like the world.
the people, the news. Without them and the police force for doing their job. Without the media and the news, we probably wouldn't have never found her. So I just want to thank them. I want to let everybody know she was a great mother, you know.
Late Friday, police announced an arrest in the murder of Frey J. Baker. Lorenzo Inman Jr., a convicted felon who'd been sentenced to more than a decade in prison for attempted murder, was arrested in Maxton, North Carolina. That's about 2 hours east of Charlotte. He has since been charged with murder, among other charges. Court documents state the two were in a relationship at the time of Baker's murder. So why was a man previously convicted of attempted murder and sentenced to more than a decade in prison out in the community? Tonight, we're digging deeper into the criminal history of the man accused of killing Frey J. Baker. WBTV's Katie Solt has more.
Frey Baker's family wants her to be remembered as a kind, caring mother who was nice to everyone. They say they are now trying to hold it together for her 2-year-old son who has to grow up without a mother.
He keep hollering out, "Where's my mommy?" What do you say? There's no words to say.
A harsh and tragic new reality for Frey Baker's family after she was killed earlier this month.
So I just want the world to know she was a good person, a good mom, a good person, just a good person that met a monster, and she trusted the monster.
Charlotte-Mecklenburg police say Lorenza Inman shot Baker, left her body in a car, and was later arrested nearly 2 hours away in Maxton, North Carolina. Court documents show Inman was previously arrested in 2017 and charged with attempted murder. He was found guilty in 2019 and sentenced to 13 to 17 years in prison. But documents show Inman and his attorneys appealed the decision, arguing an audio interview between the victim of that case and the police taken at the hospital was improperly submitted as evidence. Inman was granted a new trial and in March 2021 pled guilty to a charge of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill or inflict serious injury. He was given a sentence of 3.5 to 5 years in prison with credit for time served.
That her daughter is gone, and a convicted felony that North Carolina allowed this person to walk the street with that background is unbelievable.
After that, he was charged with probation violations and in October pled guilty to habitual misdemeanor assault and intimidating a witness. A judge suspended his prison sentence pending successful completion of 2 years of supervised probation. Just 2 months later, he's behind bars again on murder charges.
He's a monster. That's what he is, a monster.
As you just heard, this case has devastated Frezja's family and shaken the Charlotte community to its core. Let's talk about what we still don't know and what authorities are still investigating. First, police have not publicly released Frezja's exact cause of death. We know from court documents that she suffered head trauma and was shot in the head, but the official autopsy results have not been made public. Investigators are keeping those details close as the case moves forward. Second, there's still a gap in the timeline. What happened between 10 p.m. on December 4th and 9:35 a.m. on December 11th? Where was Frezja during those 7 days? Where was her car? Was she killed immediately after leaving that gas station? Or did she survive for some time? And how did her Honda end up behind that abandoned church on Sanders Avenue? Was she killed there or was her body moved? These are questions investigators are still working to answer. But what we do know is this. The evidence against Lorenza Inman is strong. Surveillance footage shows him assaulting Frezja hours before she disappeared. Witnesses say he admitted to killing her. He allegedly told a probation officer that she was dead and that her car was near his house. And Fresja's body was found exactly where the tips said it would be, wearing the same clothes from the gas station video. On December 15th, Inman appeared in court for the first time. Fresja's family was there, and they were not quiet. Her father, Freddie Baker, stood up and addressed the judge directly. He said, "This man don't need bond. He was already out on bond. He ran the streets, and now my daughter is dead." Her aunt, Yvette Swanson, called Inman a monster. She said she was a good person, a good mom, a good person who met a monster and trusted a monster. The judge agreed with the family. Lorenza Inman was denied bond. He remains in Mecklenburg County Jail, and his next court date is set for January 2nd. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. The question everyone is asking: why was Lorenza Inman free? This is a man with criminal history dating back nearly 2 decades. He was convicted of attempted first-degree murder. He shot a man in the chest and then stood over him and fired more rounds. He was sentenced to 13 to 17 years in prison, but he served 2 years. 2 years. His conviction was overturned on appeal because of trial errors. He took a plea deal and walked out of prison in March 2021. 4 months later, he was arrested for assaulting a woman. The charges were dropped. In October 2021, he pleaded guilty to habitual misdemeanor assault and intimidating a witness. He was given probation. In October 2025, just 2 months before Fresja's murder, he pleaded guilty again to habitual misdemeanor assault and intimidating a witness. And once again, a judge suspended his prison sentence and gave him probation. Probation for a man who tried to kill someone, for a man who repeatedly assaulted women, for a man who threatened witnesses from jail. And now Fresja Baker is dead. Her aunt, Yvette Swanson, said it best: North Carolina allowed this person to walk the street with that background. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And it's unacceptable. This isn't just about one case. This is a pattern we see over and over again. Repeat offenders, reduced sentences, plea deals, probation, second chances, third chances, fourth chances, and then another victim. Fresja's family is asking the right questions. Who made the decision to give Inman probation instead of prison time? Who decided that a man with a history of violence deserved leniency? And how many more people have to die before we take violent crime seriously? Fresja was a mother, a daughter, an aunt, a woman who, according to her family, was kind to everyone, a woman who believed in seeing the good in people, a woman who trusted, and that trust was betrayed in the worst possible way. Her last act before she disappeared? Dropping her 2-year-old son off with his grandparents, keeping him safe, being a mother. That little boy is now without his mother. Fresja's aunt Yvette Swanson said the boy keeps crying out, "Where's my mommy? Where's my mommy?" There are no words to explain to a 2-year-old that his mommy isn't coming home. So the family just holds him. He'll grow up with questions. He'll grow up with pain. He'll grow up with a hole in his life that can never be filled. And for what? Because the justice system failed his mother. Because a violent man was given chance after chance. Because someone decided that Lorenza Inman's freedom was more important than public safety. Fresja's family has set up a GoFundMe to help support her son. They're trying to pick up the pieces. They're trying to be strong for this little boy who just lost everything. But they're also demanding answers. They're demanding accountability. They're demanding justice. And they're asking, why did this happen? How was this allowed to happen? Those are questions we should all be asking. Lorenza Inman sits in Mecklenburg County Jail tonight, held without bond. He's facing first-degree murder charges. He'll go to trial, and if convicted, he'll likely spend the rest of his life in prison. But that won't bring Fresja back. It won't give her son his mother. It won't undo the pain her family is feeling. This case should make us angry. It should make us demand better. Better from our justice system. Better protection for victims. Better consequences for abusers. Better screening before violent offenders are released. Better enforcement of probation conditions. better support for survivors of domestic violence. Because here's the reality. Frezja Baker should be alive today. She should be watching her son grow up. She should be celebrating holidays with her family. She should have a future. But she doesn't, because the system failed her. And if we don't demand change, there will be more Frezjas, more families grieving, more children growing up without parents, more preventable tragedies. So here's what I want you to do. If this story moved you, if it made you angry, if it broke your heart, hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel so you can stay updated as this case goes to trial. Share this video. Frezja's story deserves to be heard. Drop a comment below. Tell me, what do you think should happen to Lorenza Inman? What needs to change in our justice system? How do we prevent the next tragedy? We'll keep following this case. We'll be here with updates as Inman goes to trial. We'll be here to make sure Frezja Baker isn't forgotten. Until then, look out for each other. If you see something, say something. If someone you know is in danger, help them. Don't stay silent. Stay safe out there. And remember, Frezja Matisse Baker, a mother, a daughter, a life that mattered.